Tom Thibodeau, his post-game comments now. First question from our own Rebecca Harlow.
Well, I want him to play well on both sides of the ball. And as I mentioned, in looking at his career, when he's taken good shots, he's always made them, or he at least had a good chance to make them. And when he eliminates the tough shots, it makes him a much better player. He plays with a lot more energy defensively. But I want him to get himself going with his defense first, running the floor, rebounding, and then spacing the floor. And then I thought our guys did a great job of penetrating and finding him. I thought the rim reads were great. And Kevin's worked extremely hard to get himself ready for the season.
This question comes from Mike Vorkunov, The Athletic.
With Quickley, I mean, obviously he played well tonight, and he played well the last two nights. Has he impressed you enough to kind of get a legitimate rotation role when the season starts? Do you foresee him playing significant minutes for you?
If he keeps doing it, we based all that on performance, so he keeps doing the things that he's doing, and he's doing it in practice, and he's carrying it over to the games. He's earning his way, and so we'll see how it unfolds.
Next question comes from Ian Begley, SNY.
Coach, just following up on that, you had said, I think before the game, that you're still going to use these practices that you have to make some decisions on rotation, lineups, and all that. Would it be accurate to say that Immanuel is under consideration by you guys for the point guard spot starting?
You could say that about every player on the roster, but he's done a really good job. And when he's been on the floor, the team has functioned extremely well. So, we'll talk about it as a staff and move forward from there. But he got our attention in practice, and if you practice well, you usually play well.
Next question comes from Steph Bondi, Daily News.
Hey Tom, can you sort of analyze or give a rundown on why the offense has been so successful with Quickley running the point?
Well, I think added shooting is a big piece, but I also think other guys have gotten in and made a number of good plays. I thought Julius, his penetration, and then his willingness to make the right read and kick the ball out and spray it out, it makes the game easy for everyone. And that's the way we have to play. If you're one-on-one and you got an angle to the basket, go ahead and score. If you got 2 or 3 defenders on you, make the play. The game will tell you the right play. You just read the game, read the rim, and then make the right play.
Next question comes from Mark Berman, New York Post.
Yeah, Tom, with all the injuries, and now you're done with preseason, and now you got a few days, but how challenging is it going to be to just figure out now what opening night is going to look like with a rotation and even a starting lineup?
Yeah, well, I think nothing is ever set in stone. And so the one thing that you do understand is that you're going to need everybody over the course of a season. And so I think the important thing, it's just like what Quick showed us, he didn't play in the first game. And so, but it didn't change his approach. And then when his opportunity came, he was ready and he ran with it. And so we need everyone to do that. We're going to count on everyone over the course of the season. If you're not in the rotation initially, it doesn't mean that you'll stay there for the entire season. You have injuries, you have foul trouble, you have illness, you have a lot of things that factor into it. So the one thing that you have to do is be ready, and I think Quick has shown that, and we've had some other guys do that as well.
The next question comes from Rebecca Harlow, MSG Network.
Coach, the body of work is obviously just starting for you here, but when you sat down before preseason and thought about what you wanted to accomplish, how satisfied are you with the progress that you made in those 4 games?
Never satisfied. You always think you could do better. I think that's the way most coaches are wired. But, the big thing is I want our team to focus in on improvement every day. And we have to take it for what it is. You have your training camp, and those practices are important. You're putting your foundation in. And then you have your preseason games, and you take that for what it is, and it's a good way to measure the team. But they're preseason games. There's a whole different level that we have to go to when we get to the regular season. And so that's what I want everyone to understand, the work that is required each and every day. There's no shortcuts to this. So everyone's got to be committed to putting the proper amount of work in.